I'm just here so I won't get fined.
We're getting ready for Cincinnati.
That's a W. Let's eat one. Let's eat one. That's a W. How many of you want to eat a W tonight?
Watson runs up the middle. Gimpy or not, there he goes.
Carr out of the shotgun. Looks left. Throws a lob for Michael Crabtree. Caught it!
I'm not fucking going 7-9.
Jones inside the 40, inside the 30, inside the 20, to the 10-yard line. Taiwan Jones.
Pass is caught. Cooper. Touchdown.
180! 580! 387!
All right, so before we get on with episode 7 of the 3 Idiots podcast, I wanted to give kind of an update to what we're doing with the podcast. I know 2 episodes ago, we started posting on YouTube, and we started posting the full episodes. What we're going to be doing from now on is we're going to be splitting up the segments, so we'll probably have 3 or 4 separate segments on YouTube in video format. So it'll be the news and notes, plus whatever 3 topics we have until the season, will be the division reviews. So it'll be a lot easier to listen to them in segments on YouTube. I also want to try and add more visuals on the YouTubes, because, putting out putting pictures of tweets that we might be talking about or clips that we might be talking about. So that's just something we're going to figure out moving forward. But it's just stuff that we're going to add to try and make the experience of listening to the podcast a little bit more, what's the word? Approachable? Convenient. That's a good word.
So, also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's the 3 Idiots podcast. 3 Idiots?
Yeah, 3 Idiots. 3, the number 3, and then the letter E. Right now, we only have episodes 5 and 6 in their full form. And unfortunately, they've been releasing a little bit late because I've been trying to figure out how to upload properly with a decent enough visual. So, but yeah, that's all I got.
This podcast was sponsored by Elevated Communications LLC, a company that manages Verizon wireless stores. Right now, go see them at 13513 University Boulevard, Sugar Land, Texas 77479 for great service that has you covered. Go right now and tell them 3 Idiots podcast sent you, and you will get 10% off accessories.
All right, welcome to the 3 Idiots podcast, episode 7. Right, guys? I got it right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I just need to make sure I get it right every single time, because
you don't.
I got it right last time. It's not that bad. All right, so let's jump into some news and notes of the week. A lot of COVID news, actually. A lot of stadium stuff being announced. I'm actually going to skip all these because they're, it's not really that big news, but a lot of teams have put out what they're doing with their stadiums. No fans for 3 weeks or whatever, and every team's different. Every team has to follow their local guidelines and stuff like that. So a lot of teams are just kind of trying to figure it out as we go along. So I'm just going to skip all of those.
We can also post a post on Instagram to show.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll actually do it. We can do it right after.
Yeah, so follow us on Instagram.
Sean Payton floated the idea earlier this week it was reported that on a call with the NFL or whatever it was, he floated the idea of playing the playoffs in a bubble, which is interesting because that's what the NBA is doing, and they had a lot of success doing that, and I think it would be perfect. Where's the Super Bowl being played next? All right, so it's L.A.
Tampa Bay.
God, you fucked me up. All right, sorry, Tampa Bay is going to be hosting the Super Bowl, so I don't know about practice facilities, though. They need, multiple practice areas, fields, stuff like that. They could use high schools, maybe. I don't know how NFL teams feel about going to, subpar, facilities to try and do this bubble thing, but it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of preparation. So,
the NFL does have the resources.
It has the resources, but they've been...
Yeah, that's
from the start of it. This COVID thing has been kind of above them. I don't know. They haven't handled it as well as they could have. And you've seen actually a lot of teams haven't handled it as well as they could have.
Yeah, that's actually really true. So, I remember when the Buffalo Bills had 5 of their players get COVID, and so they sent all the rookies on.
which actually we're about to talk about that in a second. The NFL issued a statement recently saying there were irregularities with the COVID-19 results, and a lot of teams have canceled practice until it's figured out. As far as I've heard, it's just teams who send their results to their tests to a New Jersey-based laboratory. So apparently only those the tests from those particular laboratories are affected. So like teams that are like on the West Coast or on the Gulf Coast or in like Texas, southern area, they won't be affected by this because they send their results to some other laboratory. That's something the NFL is going to have to figure out soon. Jumping into some players news, there was rumors earlier about this week about the Ravens being in talks with Des Bryant. Nothing's come up about it since, so I'm assuming it's just an option that they have in the future if they need it. Now, last week I completely messed up. I said that Trey Waynes was a Vikings cornerback. He is not. He's on the Bengals, and that's my bad. But his injury has been like diagnosed. It's a torn pectoral muscle, and he will miss most of 2020. So that's my bad about last week. The Eagles defensive end Derek Barnett suffered a lower body injury, and all we know is that he's going to miss significant time. Gerald McCoy tore his right quad, so his season is completely over, and he was released Tuesday with an injury waiver. Apparently, his contract had a injury waiver specifically for his quad, so if he injured it, the Cowboys had full rights to waive him, which obviously they did. AJ Green hurt his hamstring, but it isn't expected.
I feel like they hold him in that regard.
Yeah, you told me. I mean, he signed the contract. He was betting that his hamstring?
Quad.
Quad, sorry. His quad would hold out, and obviously it didn't. So,
It's just very unfortunate how that was part of the contract. Like, it was pretty specific.
Yeah, it's kind of ruthless, but I mean, you kind of have to be. AJ Green hurt his hamstring, but it isn't expected to be bad. He's 32 years old, so they're probably just gonna kind of put him on that veteran plan. He doesn't really need to practice as much. Obviously, they have Joe Burrow, so more practice the better. But obviously, being in his ninth or so season, he should be good. Actually, probably more, to be honest. The Cardinals' number 2 cornerback, Robert Alford, suffered a season-ending torn pectoral injury, and he's going to go he will undergo surgery. I don't know if you saw this. On the Google Doc that we're using, I accidentally wrote down, and will undergo suffering. So that's kind of fucked up.
Learn to spell, Zane.
It's a typo. Browns running back Nick Chubb suffered a concussion, but he started practicing again yesterday. Melvin Ingram was holding out earlier this week for a new deal or more guaranteed money. He's 31, and he's entering the last season of his 4-year, $64 million deal. On Friday, he signed a revised contract, so his contract is fully guaranteed, or his salary for 2020 is fully guaranteed. Dolphins cornerback Xavier Howard might not be ready for Week 1 against the Patriots. It's going to be in New England for the Dolphins, so that's a big loss. Saints guard Andres Pete suffered a broken thumb and is out indefinitely. When he comes back, they said depends on if he needs surgery. DeAndre Hopkins is dealing with the hamstring issue, and the Cardinals are being safe with him. Eagles' Miles Sanders suffered a lower body injury and is week to week. Dalvin Cook and the Vikings have broken off contract talks for the time being. It's not that they can't be reinitiated, but obviously this is a show by Dalvin Cook saying, hey, you're not giving me the respect I need, so we're going to come back to this later. Cowboys right tackle La'el Collins was in a car crash, but he's fine. Kevin Johnson was hospitalized. The Browns cornerback Kevin Johnson was hospitalized with a lacerated liver after a player landed on him during practice. So that sounds painful. He was released from the hospital yesterday, so he should be good to go once he's sort of healed up. Tyreek Hill injured a hamstring, but was able to leave under his own power. It was diagnosed as a hamstring strain, and the Chiefs are being cautious, but it shouldn't be an issue. Broncos second-round pick KJ Hamler injured his hamstring and will be out a few weeks. And Saints have opened up talks with Alvin Kamara for a contract extension after having a down year last year. So this will probably go throughout the season, so Alvin Kamara can kind of prove he deserves a bigger contract. Bucks wide receiver John Franklin III, former last chance U star, suffered a major leg injury. Bruce Arians said it doesn't look good, so that really does suck for him after going through so much.
Big news out of Washington is that Washington's head coach, Ron Rivera, has been diagnosed with lymph node cancer.
Yeah.
And from what I read, it said that it was in the early stages, so that's pretty good that they caught it early on.
Yeah. Chances are he's probably just going to continue with his own.
According to the article,
coaching.
he is going to continue coaching.
So hopefully he'll be fine, and
he's a great coach.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Jarrett Stidham is dealing with a leg issue. He reportedly he's dealing with the leg issue. That's a separate thing. But I just wanted to add in, he also apparently had like 6 interceptions during practice earlier, like this week.
In the first practice, he had 3 interceptions from 5 attempts.
Yeah, so that's it's not pretty, but I'll say this, and I said it to Nikib, but Patrick Mahomes had a similar report earlier, and me being a Raiders fan, obviously I was like, man, Patrick Mahomes is a bust, but I'm not gonna after what we've seen happen with Patrick Mahomes, I don't think this is gonna be an exact issue. And a lot of people have said this about Jimmy Garoppolo too, in comparison. Like, apparently he had some issues like that too, but look where he is now. So continuing on, Broncos linebacker Todd Davis injured his calf and expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks. Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert fractured his left thumb, and he's going to be limited moving forward. Here's a big one. Ravens safety Earl Thomas was sent home after an altercation with fellow safety Chuck Clark, and as of today, he was released. In a now he put out it wasn't a tweet. It was a Instagram post. He posted a video of the play that caused the issue, and he wrote in the caption, so in his Instagram post, he said, being sent home sucks. I can't take the reps. I need to keep momentum going, but I can reflect on things and keep working my plan to help the team win. Obviously, that didn't work out. This has been one of the best camps. Crazy a situation like this can throw dirt on it. Here's a clip that started the fight, and he posted the clip. And mental error on my part, a busted coverage that I tried to explain calmly, met with built-up aggression, turned into me getting into it with a teammate. Since we didn't keep it in-house, I'm getting texts and calls from ESPN reporters, etc., and apparently he was trying to clear the air. But you cannot always trust what these players put out, because obviously they're in charge of their own brand and kind of need to... he's going to be trying to find another job, and he knew that. So he's going to be trying to kind of put the situation in a light that might reflect on him a little bit better. We saw the video, and I don't know, it's difficult for us to say. You said Chuck Clark was bald, right? In the video, the guy who, or Earl Thomas, is a person who threw off his helmet in the video after the play happened, and it doesn't really match what he's saying here about calmly reacting, or what do you say? He tried to explain calmly.
By the way, we are not confirming that it was Earl Thomas that ripped off the helmet, because we are not 100% sure.
Yeah, it was kind of blurry, so it was kind of
a blurry picture, and so we are not saying 100% that he ripped off the helmet.
Yeah. So it's a shitty situation for him. Obviously Chuck Clark's still practicing, but he was sent home and then obviously eventually cut. The way it's sounding is that kind of an Antonio Brown and Raiders situation, and the Ravens are going to be trying to void the contract, meaning they don't have to pay his guarantees and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, he can still file a grievance and dispute it, so we'll see where that goes. But where do you guys think he's going to land? There's been reports about him going to the Cowboys.
Yes, there's also been reports about him teams being interested as the 49ers and the Texans.
Yeah, but it would be nice to see him on the Cowboys.
It would be nice to see him on the Texans. I mean, him and Deshaun Watson have a really good relationship, so.
But knowing the Cowboys, they usually don't end up making the safety signings everyone wants them to make. So he's probably going to end up
on the Texans, Bill O'Brien, he has a happy trigger finger.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he might just pull the trigger and make some stupid decision. But if he gets Errol Thomas, then I won't say that.
Wait, do the Texans need a free safety though? Don't they have Justin Reed?
They have Justin Reed, but they don't have another safety.
We'll actually cover that today.
They have Eric Murray next to him, which is.
He also put out a statement after he was cut. He said, you know, just the basic things. Appreciate the Ravens and organizations for the opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Had a great run. Wish things would have ended differently, and et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, obviously the basic post put out there so he can, you know, get another job, a new contract with another team. There also have been reports of him missing practices, so that could factor into how extreme their response was. And also his history. He had a fight last year, too, during training camp. I forgot who it was with, though. But moving on. Cowboys left tackle Tyron Smith had $8.9 million of his base salary converted into a signing bonus. So that saved the Cowboys almost $6.7 million in cap space. So that should... A lot of teams are going to be looking to do stuff like this to try and save money with the cap.
Especially because it's reported that next season the cap space will be going down.
Yeah, with the whole COVID thing going on. The NFL is considering a league-wide policy that would enable fan sounds to be heard in the stadium. Basically, I guess, pumping in fan noise, which is going to be... A lot of people are against it just because how fake it is, you know? So we'll see how that ends up. But that's all I got for league news. Do you guys have anything to say?
Nope.
Nothing?
No.
All right, then. All right, topic 1 of episode 7. We got what team has the best wide receiver core in the NFL? So, who wants to go first?
I think that the Buccaneers have the best wide receiving core in the NFL.
Buccaneers.
Because, I mean, you got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Scott Miller, Justin Watson. And I know he's not a wide receiver, but tight ends, Gronkowski and O.J. Howard.
Are we counting tight ends?
I mean... Are we?
No, I mean, it's best wide receiver core.
Well, I mean, they're kind of receivers.
Tight ends aren't just receivers; they're blockers too.
Yeah, I know,
but they're a separate position.
They're a separate.
Oh, okay. So, but still, having Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and Justin Watson, who had a pretty good season last year, and then you got Tom Brady pulling the trigger. So, I think that they definitely have the best wide receiving group.
I think, overall. I mean, in terms of like just the duos, I think they got the best duo in the league. And I know the Cowboys have a decent duo, but one of them's a rookie and the other one's Amari Cooper. And I'm not high on Amari Cooper, so...
Yeah.
I mean, he's decent, but...
He seems to disappear a lot.
Yeah, but we'll get to it in a second. But Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, I think, two of the best like duos. Unless, you know, maybe the Browns bring out Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham and they play
Whenever
better.
I think of Chris Godwin, I always think of that post by Keenan Allen.
Chris Goodwin.
And Chris Godwin's like, yeah, I think I'm better than Chris Goodwin too.
All right. Well, all right. You want to go next?
Yeah. I think the Cowboys have the best wide receiver core because Amari Cooper, yeah, he disappeared one game. That was against the Patriots. Otherwise, he played every other game pretty well.
No, I sent you the stat. Remember, it's like against, it was like, there was like a period where he just kind of like disappeared.
Yeah, but besides that, we also have Michael Gallup, who also cracked 1,000 yards last season.
That's true.
While missing like 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, Cowboys are definitely my number 2 for best wide receiving core.
And then they also drafted CeeDee Lamb, who had an insane college.
See, I'm not gonna trust rookies, especially this season because of no rookie camp, and basically they got thrown into OTAs, or not OTAs, like training camp. Like they didn't have the rookie. Yeah. These rookies didn't get the advantages that other rookies have gotten, so I don't believe this season's gonna be a very rookie-heavy season.
I mean, it has to be. It has to be for a lot of teams.
No, but I feel like...
But it has to be, but I mean, feel like the situation that has come up...
I feel like CeeDee Lamb's actually being the third receiver on the team right now is the best case scenario for him, which is going to help
yeah, but I mean, that's the best case. But, like, I'm just saying expecting him to have, like, that...
I'm not expecting him to have a god-tier body. Yeah. I'm expecting him to, like, make those
No, he's definitely going to make plays. But, I mean, I'm just saying
exactly.
to expect a rookie to be, like, that dominant receiver, it's...
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. It's still possible because he's a good receiver.
Possible, but the thing is that most chances are it's probably not going to happen, specifically for the fact that there was no rookie camp. and they don't have that much. They don't have all the time that other rookies had.
Who's the best rookie receiver you can think of from last year? It was either Terry McLaurin or DK Metcalf.
AJ Brown.
Oh, AJ Brown too, but
yeah, he was pretty good.
But none of them cracked over 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
no, they did.
Who?
I think AJ Brown did.
Oh, AJ Brown.
But the thing is, they had a full rookie, like they had a full off season, like they had the rookie camps and stuff. But this year they don't have that, and so jumping from a college style play to an NFL style play that actually takes time. And
that's true. Alabama is a pretty good team, so they kind of. I mean,
yeah, that's true. But I mean, still, I'm just saying in a general sense that this is not going to be a very rookie driven season, specifically for the fact that the rookies did not have all the time to acclimate to the.
That's true. And honestly, speaking of, like, the fact that they have a rookie and they're still, I'd say, one of the more talented wide receiver rooms in the NFL is saying something.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah. Okay, as much as it pains me to say, but I got the Chiefs, unfortunately. And I absolutely hate it, but they got so much speed. And I know Nakeem thinks the Texans got speed, but bro, the Chiefs got speed. They always, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's...
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Tyreek Hill's... But what I was saying is that I think the Texans have based their offense on...
We're talking about the Chiefs, though.
I'm just saying.
We're talking about the Chiefs. We'll get to the Texans, don't worry.
You brought up the Texans.
Okay, I know, it was just a comment, but... I'm not trying to start a discussion. I'm just saying, Tyreek, they got two players, Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman. Basically somewhat of the same player, right? Extremely fast, both deep threats, right? So they got those two just on the outside. You got Sammy Watkins down, just that trio with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback is elite and it's dangerous. McCole Hardman's going into his second season in the same system. He knows the playbook better. You still have Sammy Watkins in there. It's going to be insane. And I would not be surprised to see the Chiefs win it again this season. As much as I hate to say it as a Raiders fan, but I cannot deny how absolutely stacked that wide receiver room is. And it's almost unfair, to be honest. It's ridiculous, and teams are just going to have to figure out how to cover that kind of speed. All right, you guys want to add anything? Or are we done? We good? All right, cool. So topic 2, and this is actually going to be our last topic for this episode. We were going to do 3, but we got shit to do, so we got 2, and we'll just kind of carry it over to the next episode. So we're what was I going to say? Anyways, our topic number 2, AFC South. Finally getting into the AFC. The first one's Nakeem with the Jaguars.
Yep. Okay, so like the national media and like everybody else, I also think the Jaguars are going to suck this year. They are going to suck. Their defense, they lost Calais Campbell, Yannick Ngakoue.
Yannick Ngakoue.
We'll do this on the podcast.
Wait, I got this. Okay. Yannick Ngakoue.
Ngakoue.
Yannick
Ngakoue.
Ngakoue. Yannick Ngakoue.
Yannick
Ngakoue.
Ngakoue.
Guac, like guacamole.
Guacamole.
Okay.
Yannick Ngakoue.
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 Yannick Ngakoue.
Yannick Ngakoue.
They don't have him, or they have him, but
who?
Yannick.
Oh my god!
Oh, I can't say his name. Cancel that.
No,
cancel.
No,
restart that.
No,
shit.
this is going into the podcast.
No, it's going in. It's going in. Continue.
It's going in.
Yannick
Ngakoue.
Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah, Yannick Ngakoue.
They don't have Yannick Ngakoue on their team. Well, I mean, they have him, but he doesn't want to play because he wants out of there.
He's like, I don't want to play for.
They don't have Jalen Ramsey anymore, and now they have AJ Boye in the back. Their defense is not good. Their offense, their quarterback is Gardner Minshew, who had a pretty good stint as a rookie, but let's see if he can actually do that again.
There's not a good team built around Gardner Minshew. It's just a trash team.
Yeah, this is just a complete trash team.
It's like
Jaguars just not.
The team they have they have a lot of bright spots like Josh Allen. There's Gardner Minshew.
They got Miles Jack. They brought in Joe Schubert, right? And he's going to be taking a middle linebacker.
Joe Schubert. They got Brian Linder. They got DJ Chark. They have a lot of nice players, but they don't have that X factor player anywhere, nowhere. They have some good players here
I
and
like
there.
their wide
They have some
receivers.
trash.
What do you mean? They're wide receivers.
They have depth. They have
great.
depth at their wide receivers.
I mean,
they have Keelan Cole, right?
It's
Yeah, they
decent.
got
They have a
D.D.
decent wide
Westbrook.
receiver.
D.D.
They,
Westbrook, Keelan
drafted,
Cole.
D.D. Westbrook is injury prone. Actually, he's been injured a lot.
Look. He's a bust, right? But he's still good.
He's still good.
He's a
But
serviceable
overall,
number 2 receiver.
top two
Over the AFC South, especially Jaguars, is literally everybody knows they're the write-off. Like they're not winning because
I mean,
their team is in like a horrible position.
I could see a way, maybe
I
where
can
they
too.
could make the playoffs.
No,
I can't.
I don't.
Look.
They
It
have
all depends on Gardner Minshew. Their
Yeah.
defense doesn't have to be elite.
I mean,
Okay.
it has to be good though.
They have a
don't
lot
even
of
them.
they have a lot
not.
of they have a lot of one good season, one bad season players on their team, right? And one X factor they're missing actually is Telvin Smith because he got something happened, an altercation happened or something, and Telvin Smith got suspended, or he got caught with marijuana shit, at his home or something, and yeah. But
yeah, I honestly,
and they have no
in
corners, they have no secondary. That's
in
their
my
biggest
opinion,
weakness.
the Jaguars are not a team to be like compete. They're just not a team that's gonna be competing.
I'll give you a scenario, right? So say their defense is even below average, okay? Because remember the Raiders in 2016, their defense was absolute trash, right? But they still had a decent pass rush with Khalil Mack. So they still have Josh Allen, right? He's going into his second season. They drafted what was his name? Kayvon
Chassian.
Chassian. Yeah, that dude.
Kayvon Chassian.
That's it.
But
yeah.
like I said,
Hold on.
again,
I'm
with
not
rookies,
done. I'm not done. All right. So their defense is just some like below average, okay? But they still got some pieces there. But their offense with D.D. Westbrook, they got DJ Shark and who's their second? Not Keelan Cole. Conley.
Chris Conley.
Chris Conley.
He has
Chris Conley.
98 jumping in Madden. I don't know why that was necessary to say, but they gave him a 98 jumping.
And they also got that guy.
And he's fast.
They drafted LaVisca.
I don't know the name.
Hang on.
again,
LaVisca Chenault. Right? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so in the second round. Okay, he's a
Yeah,
pretty good wide
he
receiver.
is.
So that with freaking Leonard Fournette actually like breaking out, they didn't take his fifth year
Leonard
option.
Fournette actually has been a bust.
Okay, yeah, I know, but he still has a chance.
Leonard Fournette hasn't been a bust. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
he
say
has.
that.
Yeah,
His
he
first
has.
year in the
Like,
league.
his first year was a good year. After that,
Second
it's just
year,
been a complete down year.
I mean,
he was injured.
No.
And third year, he had a better third year than he's been more consistent than David Johnson. If you can have hope for David fucking Johnson right now,
That's true.
you better have hope for Leonard fucking Fournette. Okay,
That's true.
Okay, but Leonard Fournette is he's just not. No,
Okay,
like,
but
he's been
like
on
I said, this is all
consistent
theoretical, right?
Yeah.
If Leonard Fournette brings it back and is able to be a decent running back and consistent, like in the backfield for them, and Gardner Minshew actually like really gets to that starting level. Like last year, it was up and down, but full off season as a starter now, he knows the playbook. He's going into his second season, and they also brought in Jay Gruden to help with that offense too. So I can see them making an impact.
Okay,
Maybe like 7-9, 8-8.
My thing is this. Okay, yeah, all that can happen, but that's with any team. Any team can
That's true.
just show out.
That's
so,
true.
But off of the performances that we've seen before, is it safe to assume that they will actually are they more likely to be a good team or less likely to be a good team?
I guess
what
you could
I'm
say
saying
less
is
likely.
less likely to be a good team.
That's true.
That's
remember,
because the thing is, in the NFL, anything's possible. You know what they say? Any given Sunday, anything can happen. Any given
Right.
Sunday.
Yeah.
And so, who knows? The Jaguars could just end up going to the Super Bowl. I mean, it's highly unlikely, but it's possible.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, most likely, off of their performance and the team that is right now, they're not a competitor in the AFC South. Theoretically, they can be, but until they don't actually do it.
All I'm trying to, even though it's like very unlikely, all I'm trying to say is there is a way they could.
Yeah, I mean,
they
there's
have
a way
some
any
pieces.
team can
If
win.
they play their cards right, they could.
But that's the thing with any other team. Like,
No.
any team, if they play their cards right, they can win a division or they can win their Super
There
Bowl.
are some
Well, I mean, you
playoffs.
could say some teams, which is kind of like.
I mean, there is no hope. Hey,
name one team that actually has no chance, absolutely zero chance.
I'll
of
put it
winning.
this way.
2016 Browns.
Well, I'm talking about coming up this season.
Do you guys remember there was this one team a couple of years ago, and everyone was like, "These guys are literally going 0-16." Everyone said it. I forgot which team. I think it might have been like the Jets. Everyone was saying how they're going 0-16. It actually went 8-8. So, you know,
Yeah, so that's
another
what I'm saying.
thing. Wait. Let me. Okay, I know I'm bringing basketball into this. The analyst said the Oklahoma City Thunder had a 0.2% chance of making the playoffs, and they ended up making the playoffs not as the 8th seed, 7th seed, 6th seed. They made it as the 5th seed into the playoffs.
See, that's true, but like that's what I'm trying to say. Like anything can happen. Any team can end up in the playoffs. But what I'm saying is, off of what we've seen, are they more likely to make the playoffs or less likely?
You obviously less likely, yeah. But with
less
here's
likely,
the thing.
right? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that there's absolutely zero chance that they're going to make it, but it's pretty easy to make that assumption that they are not going to make the playoffs.
I'm going to be honest. I think the AFC South is going to be more competitive than people think, or you think, right? And I think the Jaguars can be up there. If you put it on a scale of like most likely to get into the playoffs with the AFC South, I think you got we'll cover this at the end, but the Jaguars aren't that far behind, to be honest.
I think it depends on how much heart the Jaguars team actually has to win.
Yeah.
If they actually want to win, I think they can. But
I mean, like I said,
if they are tanking for Trevor Lawrence, they're not going to win because they have the mindset.
But then there's also the thing, like a lot of the rookies that you said, they won't. Like I said before, that's not going to be a rookie.
That's just Kayvon Chasion and
Laviska Shenault.
Yeah, but what I'm just saying is that out of the AFC South team, the team that is least likely to make a playoff run or any run is the Jaguars.
Right.
And that's my thoughts.
But we'll continue on to the next team. So you want to go?
Yeah. I think the best team, Colts. Colts are gonna be the best team in the AFC South, easily.
Over the Titans and Texans.
Over the Titans and Texans. I think the Titans are gonna be the second best team, and the Texans are gonna have a losing season.
Dang.
Maybe
I will have to disagree.
Okay, yeah, you can disagree for now.
I would disagree. Phillip Rivers is washed up. Derrick Henry's going to have it down here.
Can you let me talk? Okay. The Colts have the most complete team out of any other team in the AFC South. They have almost every position perfectly filled out with
not really.
Average player or above average player.
That's debatable.
What do you mean debatable?
That's debatable.
The only shady position they have is cornerback. But they have veterans they have Kenny Moore coming back. They have Rock Ya-Sin playing for a second year. That's the only shady part about that team. Everything else is fine.
The Phillip Rivers is like the biggest X factor because Phillip Rivers, I don't think he's washed up.
He isn't washed up.
He's washed up.
One bad season doesn't mean he's washed up.
He's washed up.
Season. Sorry, Phillip Rivers is washed up. That's what he said.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers.
He's a veteran quarterback, and I get that saying, but like. He's kind of like in the same boat as Tom Brady right now.
I don't think
the Texans will win the division, and I already explained why in episode 3.
Shut up and let me fucking talk, okay?
No.
Last season, before this past season happened, the season before that, the 2 seasons ago, people thought Tom Brady was washed up or whatever, right? He came back the next season, and he proved everyone wrong, and he played like Tom Brady usually would. And last season, everyone thought LeBron was... I know I'm bringing basketball back into this. Everyone thought LeBron was washed up, right? Because he had a bad season. He missed out on playoffs or whatever, right? He comes back this season and is in second for MVP. So people have down years. It's a part of sports.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So that was Phillip Rivers' down year.
But if you're going to argue about the Colts, right? Then what about their wide receiver?
What do you mean?
T.Y.
Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton. Dude... You do realize, like, this really goes underseen so, like, a lot. But if you actually look at the second time when the Texans played the Colts, Garyon Conley, who everyone thought was going to be, like, a bust or whatever, or, like, people thought he wasn't going to be that great, he shut T.Y. Hilton down completely.
Okay, but you're not understanding. It's not just T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah, I know.
Now they have Zach Pascal. They have Michael Pittman Jr., who's
but last year
they have Paris Campbell coming back.
My thing is for this. Look, when the Texans last year, right? This is why I think the Texans defense can hold off the Colts. Is because they picked up Bradley Roby from free agency. They got Garyon Conley midway through the season. They got Vernon Hargreaves midway through the season. So all these players that they picked up, they had no kind of like consistency. But now all those players have come back with a full with an off season together. You know,
not really.
I mean they've had an off season together. They've been in training camp.
It's a bit not as he knows what he means. You know, like it's not as full as an off season as you'd like.
But it's still an off season together, and they've been you know what they say, that camaraderie, and like, you know, like there's consistency. It's the same thing with offensive line. Like, you know, like when offensive lines, like when all 5 starters come back, like all together, there's
the chemistry.
They're more gelled together, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's the same thing with the cornerback group.
But here's the thing, okay? Like you're saying like you're gonna Conley, you know, shut down T.Y. Hilton, but you're making an assumption that just because he did it that once, that that's the new norm. It's gonna happen every time. Hold on. Okay, but that's what
the way you're making it seem. You're like, he did it once, he'll do it again and again and again and again.
I'm just saying that it's possible. He can't do it again.
Well, any wide receiver can have a bad game, just like any corner can have a bad game.
Here's the thing. You even said the Texans beat the Chiefs in the regular season, right? But they lost to them in the postseason. So it's not consistent. Like, you can't expect something that's happened before to consistently happen again.
Well, I mean, but the Chiefs.
Zane, remember when in the playoffs, like, the Texans scored like 3 straight touchdowns against the Chiefs, right?
Oh no!
And then the Chiefs just ended up like scoring how many straight points on them? Like
51.
51 straight points on. That's insane.
That is insane. But I mean, at that point, it was Romer Cornell calling the plays, and he was being horrible.
Okay.
Like, it was horrible play calling. Like I said, that's another thing. We have a new DC too, so
we'll see how much your new. We'll see how much your new. You know.
Overall, they also have Jack Doyle too. I like Jack Doyle. He's a pretty good tight end.
They do have Jack Doyle.
And honestly,
it's only Jack Doyle, because like 2 years ago they had Eric Ebron and Jack Doyle, or was that?
No, that was last season.
That was last season. Yeah, they had Eric Ebron and Jack Doyle splitting. Now Eric Ebron's gone to the Steelers, so it's all Jack Doyle.
Yeah, but I don't have trust in Jack Doyle.
Why? Jack Doyle's only been consistent. He's always been consistent.
I mean, Eric Ebron was a better
the only reason he became inconsistent was because Eric Ebron was taking his snaps away.
And I'll say the Colts' offensive line is pretty good.
Their offensive line.
Their offensive line's amazing.
I'm not arguing that. They probably have the best offensive line in the AFC
they drafted a rookie running back also.
True.
No, they have Nyheim Hines. They have Marlon Mack. I don't think they drafted. They did. What's his name?
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor. He's gonna be a breakout player.
Yeah, he could be. I mean, running backs, especially this season, like with how the offseason's been going, running backs can have a breakout year. But I still think that the Texans will win the AFC South.
We'll cover who wins what in a second. You guys want to add anything else about the?
No, I think you should take away.
Okay. All right, cool. Let me hold on. Who was I doing again?
The Texans and the Titans.
Oh, that's right. All right. So the Texans suck. We can just continue on from to the Titans. Okay. Anyways, all right. Look, first thing, coaching. Right. Bill O'Brien's not calling the offensive plays anymore. That is a major part of what's going on with the Texans right now. They got a new DC, so that's another big part. We'll see how this new DC does. Obviously, you can't always just expect a DC to just come in and be able to. Transform a defense. Hold on.
I'm not saying this as a positive thing. I'm just putting out a comment.
Yeah.
That according to reports and according to the press conferences that have been happening, the type of defense that Anthony Weaver is going to run is going to be a hybrid defense mixed with Romer Cornell and Rex Ryan. So it's going to be like a more blitz heavy and also a lot of zone. Like
I'll actually get to that in a second. The running back room, Carlos Hyde and Lamar Miller, like what, 4 years now? 4 years they were starting for the Texans. Now they're gone. Now they got
Carlos Hyde was there.
Carlos Hyde was only there for 1 year.
1 year. Oh, my bad. Okay, sorry.
Lamar
Miller was there for 4 years.
Yeah, but that last year he was injured, so he wasn't
but yeah, now they're gone. So you got Duke Johnson, David Johnson, right? Both of them are actually pretty decent, really good receiving threats, or they have been throughout their career.
Yeah.
Especially Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson has more receiving yards than rushing yards. Okay, so the question is, who's going to be their rushing threat?
Is it going to be David Johnson?
David Johnson. Okay, so the question is he going to be able to bring that back? And that's going to be the big part, because with DeAndre Hopkins gone, right? Yeah, now they have to cover that up with a better rushing game.
Yeah, that's definitely a big if on the Texans if he can bring it back.
Right.
But yeah,
because remember, David Johnson lost his starting job to Kenyon Drake.
But
so it's not. It's really, and on top of that, I know Nick Heath's high on the Texans offensive line. I'm really not. They graded out decently in passing or pass blocking, But rush blocking, they were pretty below average.
I mean,
overall,
but
as a unit.
But overall, we also lost Titus Howard in like week 6, I believe.
I get it. You know,
and we had Chris Clark, who was literally embodiment of a complete disaster offensive line.
I got you. Injuries happen, but it doesn't. Here's the thing.
Before we continue, let me just iterate how freaking bad Chris Clark is. Like, he shouldn't even be in the NFL.
Honestly, look, I'll put it this way.
Trash.
Tackles,
hot garbage.
Tackles in the NFL, outside of all the starting ones, backups are almost impossible to find. Because just how difficult the position is.
If you have a backup, he has to be at least like even below average.
Tackle is the hardest position in the NFL.
Even if you can find a below average tackle, that's fine. He's not even below average. He's worse than that.
Dude.
Backup.
He's just straight.
Every NFL fan who actually follows their team thinks their backup tackle is
garbage.
I am actually willing to say this, that I believe Chris Clark is the worst.
I hate my backup tackle. Yeah. I hate my backup tackle.
Hands down.
Look, if you look at the Raiders like Discord or thing I'm in, look how they talk about freaking what's his name? I forgot his first name, but Sharp, right? His name Sharp is literally not Sharp. I forgot his name. I'm a fucking retard. But anyways, the Raiders backup tackle is literally the most hated person on our team.
It could be, but
maybe aside from Derek Carr.
Dude, you should really listen to how Texas fans talk about
stop talking about Chris Clark. We're done with Chris Clark, okay? We get it. We hate him. All right. But anyways, the biggest changes happened in the wide receiver room for the Texans. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins gone. They want to replace him with Randall Cobb and Brandon Cooks. They traded for Brandon Cooks, brought in Randall Cobb. Cooks obviously has had 4,000-yard seasons. Last year he had a down year because of his injury or whatever. And this is the biggest thing with the Texans, right? Their whole team, it's like top to bottom, is like, if he's healthy. Oh, he'll be good if he's healthy.
I got a question also.
I mean, that's mostly on
Wait. I got a question. Okay.
You'll see.
You got a bunch of deep threats, right? That's the yardage. They get the yards. Who's the red zone threat?
What?
Darren Fells. They're tight ends.
Tight ends. We got really good tight ends.
But here's the thing though, right? You got
and to Imad's point, we don't have all deep threats. Just because they are deep threats, that doesn't mean they're not good route
They're
runners.
all one-dimensional players.
No. Will Fuller, he can play everything. He can play intermediate, he can play beginning, and he can play deep. He can do everything, dude.
Here's the thing: if he's healthy,
if he's
healthy, he definitely has the potential to be the number one.
He's the biggest if on the Texans. I think he's the biggest X factor.
He is.
He's the biggest X factor.
I'll put it this way:
if he gets injured again,
you're top 4.
not
right. He's probably in cut.
If he gets injured also, you're not making playoffs. I think that's your
no. That's not true because we still got Kenny Stills at our number 4.
That's your.
Let me say something about Kenny Stills, right? I think he's going to be a surprise cut. Straight up. Because look, he's getting paid how much? Like $7 million? That's a lot of money for a number 4, number 5 receiver. $7 million? I'd say I honestly see the Texans, if they're confident, they might, or overconfident with the injuries, they might be like, hey, we don't need this kind of cap.
No. Kenny Stills, if anyone's gonna be getting cut, it's probably gonna be Key QT.
He's another hit, yeah. But
Key QT, apparently from what I've heard out of practice, again, like I said, all this has to be taken with a grain of salt. Let me finish. Everything that comes out of practice has to be taken with a grain of salt. But apparently, according to what people have been saying, is that Key QT has been doing really, really good in practice. And
again, so he might perform well this next season if he's healthy.
I don't think
if he's healthy. Again, if he's healthy.
If any wide receiver is getting cut, it's definitely DeAndre Carter.
Yeah, nah. I could, honestly, I've seen some reports out there that kind of predicting that DeAndre Carter might take over, like make the roster over Kiki QT or Kenny Stills.
No, DeAndre Carter, there's a lot of people down.
Isn't he also special team specialist? Though?
Yeah, and he sucks.
On special teams?
Yes, he's bad.
All right.
That's why even in practice, like I was watching training camp live for the Texans, and they're literally trying out Kiki QT as a kick returner. They tried Duke Johnson as a kick returner. Like they're starting to train these other people as kick returners to take their DeAndre Carter's job. Because he has just been absolute. I mean, there was a point when he was really good.
Yeah.
But for the past 2 seasons, our special teams, tackling wise, has been really good. But in kick returning and punt returning, we've just been like average, below average at best.
Well, as far as tight ends go, though, they got some decent tight ends. Jordan Akins, Kahale Waring, and Jordan Thomas are their young guys. They got a veteran, Darren Fells. Darren Fells and Akins are going to be their top two. That's pretty much. That's how it was last season. That's how it's going to be this next season.
But
Fells is more of a red zone target, though.
Can I also put one little thing in there?
Yeah.
But this Darren Fells and Jordan Akins are definitely they're going to be number 1, number 2.
Mm-hmm.
But as a Texans fan, and as of what I know, a lot of Texans fans are really high on Kahale Waring.
Again, if he's healthy.
Yeah, but I mean, last year he was IR stashed. He wasn't actually hurt. You know?
I mean, that's true. But as far as number 3 tight ends go, it's kind of difficult for them to get a lot of playing time.
But I think eventually after Darren Fells leaves, I think the 2 at the end of after 2 or 3 seasons, the 2 number 1, number 2 tight ends, right? This is just a prediction of mine. I'm not sure. It's gonna be Jordan Thomas and Kahale Waring are gonna be number 1, number 2.
So what? Fells leaves.
Yeah, after Fells contract, because his contract's 3 years.
So they're gonna take Jordan. They're gonna take those 2 over Jordan Akins.
I mean, I can see it because Jordan Thomas is more athletic than Jordan Akins. But the thing is, he's been injured, and so that's a big problem.
I'll put it this way: the tight ends are gonna be kind of important for the Texans because since they don't have DeAndre Hopkins, they're gonna have to spread the ball out a little bit more.
They definitely need a red zone threat.
Yeah,
that's why on my fantasy team I got Darren Fells.
They have a red zone threat in our tight end group, and also out of the backfield, the receiving threats.
All right.
Those could also be pretty good red zone. Because the thing is, the kind of stuff that they can run, like the 2 tight ends.
I even told you about this. It's every team says, "Oh yeah, we got this."
But the Texans never could run 20 personnel, 21 personnel. They only had they always ran 11 personnel, 12 personnel. They never went 20 personnel.
All right. Well, their offensive line, it's we already talked about it a little bit, but Larry Tunsil's obviously pretty decent. What's it called? He has issues with penalties though.
Yeah, but that could also be taken with the fact that he came into the Texans 3 days before their first game.
I mean that's
so he really didn't have time to acclimate.
Kenny Stills adapted well to the Texans his first year.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean it's harder for a left tackle. Because they have to respond on exact snaps, Yeah.
And so Max Sharping, Zach Fulton at guard. Sharping's decent. Fulton, I don't think is all that great.
I think he's average. He's average.
I think you're overestimating.
He's good. No, a lot of people. This is actually a very highly debated topic, but a lot of people have agreed that he's not good. He's definitely the worst offensive lineman on our team right now. Mm-hmm. But he is. He's good and he's serviceable. I'll say that.
Who? All right, he's serviceable.
Zach Fulton.
Fulton, the right guard.
He's serviceable.
I like Nick Martin.
He can work.
Nick Martin.
He's Zach Martin's brother, and I'm waiting for him to blow up.
But he's actually really good. Nick Martin and
Titus Howard at right tackle. He was his rookie year last season, so he's gonna have to make a jump this next season too. But overall,
I don't know. His name just seems like he gives up a lot of sacks. It's just
we talked about.
He actually I think I need to look up the stat, but I think he only allowed 1 sack.
Really? That's really good. But no, whenever he got drafted, I'm the Texans drafted a bust.
Actually, it's because he was from a small school, and everyone thought they would take Jawan Taylor because Jawan Taylor was still there. But
and he's on the who's he with right now?
Eagles.
He's on the no. He's in the
Jaguars.
AFC South. Yeah, Jaguars. Yeah.
But it could be argued that out of all the tackles that or the offensive linemen that came out of that draft, Titus Howard is actually the best out of all of them.
Who are the linemen in that draft? Because I know
there
Titus
was Andre
Howard.
Dillard, Jawan Taylor.
Andre Dillard didn't play that much. He's gonna start this season though.
I honestly say Jawan Taylor's better.
There's I
don't think Jawan Taylor's better.
I think so. I'd say so.
Titus Howard, in 6 games, allowed 1 sack. Like I said, there was a stat that, when all 5 of our offensive linemen were in, all our starters were playing, we went 5-1 when all of our players were healthy.
All right. Well, okay. So, I think we covered the defense enough. But, this is my favorite part of the Texans, right? The defensive line. So, you obviously got J.J. Watt, if he's healthy. Opposite of him, you got Charles Omenihu, who actually had he's not opposite. Opposite of J.J. Watt's Whitney Merciless. I mean, but Whitney
No,
Mercilus
Whitney
is a linebacker.
Mercilus is an edge rusher.
Yeah, I know.
He comes off as linebacker.
Like,
and then,
if you're talking about, because
like
the
defensive
thing
end,
is, JJ Watt runs edge too. So
Right.
I mean, if he's running off like the inside, then yeah.
I mean, but like Whitney Mercilus comes off as a linebacker.
No, he comes on the down snap, like off the ground as a defensive.
Well,
end. I mean, he's a
still-
linebacker, but like he comes in as
exactly.
a defensive. end.
He's talking about other side as in the other end.
Yeah. Their biggest loss though is DJ Reader. He went to the Bengals. Yeah, he went to the Bengals. So they brought in Tim Jernigan, Brandon Dunn.
No, Tim Jernigan didn't sign with us. He signed with the Jaguars.
I could have sworn he did.
No, he did, but the signing fell through. I think he like failed his physical. I don't know what exactly what happened, but the signing fell through, and so now he signed with the Jaguars.
Okay.
That's another reason why the Jaguars might be good.
Maybe. But they got Brandon Dunn. They drafted Ross Blacklock, who I really like, and I'm excited to see him.
Bulbasaur.
And obviously they got. Is that his nickname?
No. Remember during the draft was happening. I'm like the 3 starters that I wanted. Either Zach Bond, there was Ross Blacklock, and there was DeAndre Swift. I think it was the third one.
Wait, I wanted the Texans to draft someone else though.
And so those 3, I was like, okay, DeAndre Swift is like the Charmander, Zach Bond is like Squirtle, and Ross Blacklock's is Bulbasaur.
Squirtle.
So
weird.
when he got drafted, I was like, yes, they got Bulbasaur.
That's weird.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay, linebackers. This is my absolute favorite. I love these linebackers, okay? So you got Whitney Mercilus, obviously, right? We talked about him. Benardrick McKinney and Zach Cunningham in the middle, right? Okay. Jacob Martin and Jonathan Grenard. They're kind of, the people aren't looking at them as much. Maybe Texans fans are. But Jacob Martin, I think he can be a pretty good player if he gets playing time. I think he can be an impact player.
There's a big chance he will because of Duke Ejiofor's injury.
That's right, yeah.
So a lot of linebackers are going to pick up that slack. So
obviously, Jonathan Grenard's probably going to be taken a little bit slower into, actually in terms of playing time, but he can be an impact player. They got him in the 3rd round. So their pass rush can be scary if the secondary holds up, and we'll talk about that. Obviously, their top 2, Bradley Roby, Garyon Conley. It's a pretty steady top 2, okay? Behind them, though, they got Vernon Hargreaves. I have no confidence in Vernon Hargreaves. He's trash, all right?
Yeah,
I mean, but the thing is, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they played him on the outside.
Vernon Hargreaves,
he's a slot receiver. He's a slot cornerback. That's it.
No,
he's
Vernon Hargreaves is literally the
cornerback.
worst cornerback in the NFL.
No, outside cornerback, yes, but inside the slot, he's good.
It's debatable. I don't.
He's pretty good.
I remember watching Tampa. Every time someone got a big play on Tampa, it would be on Vernon Hargreaves.
Yeah, I think
but that's the thing. In Tampa, they played him on the outside, and he's just not an outside cornerback. He's not. He's simply not. He's absolutely garbage outside. But he's a good slot cornerback.
I don't have faith in him at all.
He's good in slot.
He's all right.
He's good in slot.
And to be honest, the depth behind those 2, or I guess those 3, it's not very inspiring.
I mean, we also got Lonnie Johnson Jr.
That's true.
I like Lonnie Johnson. I like Garyon Conley. I don't. Who else? Bradley Roby. I like too. I like all 3 of them. I'm just waiting for them.
Those are our top 2
I
receivers.
want them to break out. I'm waiting on Bradley Roby's breakout season that everyone's been waiting on since he played for the Broncos.
Yeah, but and also the rookie that they got, John Reed, apparently he's really smart. He's picking up the defense really good.
They're talking about a Raiders undrafted linebacker doing the same thing, but he's probably not going to make it. You know what I call them? You know what I call them? I call them the preseason heroes, because every year there is a player on every team pretty much.
Keelan Doss. There was a freaking I forgot who was. He was a Raider, son of a Raiders player, but there's always a preseason hero.
Yeah, the thing is, but the thing that actually gets to me is the fact that people are actually reports from camp are saying that John Reed is actually fighting Vernon Hargreaves for that slot corner spot.
So wait, what round did you pick?
We picked him in the 6th round.
6th round. So a 6th round rookie.
I mean,
he could
a first round pick.
A first round pick. You're amazing slot corner.
I'm not saying he's an amazing slot corner. I never said exaggeration. I said good.
Okay, but the fact that a 6th round rookie is fighting him for a slot, I think that says more about Vernon Hargreaves.
That could also say the same thing about John Reed. Maybe John Reed was underrated.
Okay.
I mean, you never know.
Okay.
Like I said, there's all assumptions.
Okay, so this brings us back to what we were talking about with the Jaguars, right? If you're looking at what the chances are of him being good or Vernon Hargreaves being bad, chances are Vernon Hargreaves bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing it.
So,
but I'm just saying that their cornerback thing isn't as bad as people assume.
Right.
I mean, our top three we have pretty much secured with Bradley Roby, Lonnie Johnson, and
those
three are like top three cornerbacks. So,
all right. As far as safeties goes, Justin Reed, he actually had a little bit of a down year last year compared to his rookie year, but he's still really good.
He's had a really good year.
But the thing is, I don't know if y'all know this, but you do realize last season, the reason he had a down year is because the entire year he was playing with the injured shoulder.
You always got an excuse for us. Right, just like that.
I'm serious. He even got the Ed Block Courage Player of the Year award from.
Wait, what? Sorry, I missed it. What happened with him?
He had an injured shoulder the entire year. He was playing with the injured shoulder.
Oh, okay.
That's why he wouldn't have that great of a season. But a lot of people were like, he still had a good season though.
Yeah. Obviously, the other safety though, Eric Murray, I'm not very nice. That's why Earl Thomas is being connected to the Texans
because Eric Murray is a little.
I want Eric Murray to do good.
I mean, me too.
He had a good year once, right? He had one good year in his career.
He was playing. He was rotational for the Browns.
Yeah, he was. He's more of like a tackle. I mean, he's not the fastest.
He's a good tackler.
Secondary player, but he's a good tackle. He's good in open field tackles. But he has that little down, that straight line speed or whatever.
Yeah.
He has that, but he can't. He's not that good at covering. Like if you put him on like someone like Tyreek Hill, or if you put him not Tyreek Hill will burn everybody. But like if you put him on like T.Y. Hilton or something like that, he will get burnt. He's not that fast, but like when somebody catches the ball and he like a direct shot towards the cornerback, he's really pretty fast. Or wide receiver, sorry.
All right, but that's all I got for the Texans.
Titans
time. All right, Ryan Tannehill. Obviously, biggest thing for him is he needs to bring over what he did last year into 2020.
Yeah. I mean, last year was mostly Derrick Henry, honestly.
No.
Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill?
Everything he did was set up by Derrick Henry.
Okay, well, everything he's going to do this year is also going to be set up by Derrick Henry.
So that's true.
But, where was I? Anyways, yeah. So that's a big part of what the Titans got going on. Obviously, you got Derrick Henry. Behind them, you got a third-round pick named Darrington Evans, who's like apparently super fast. But behind them, they got no depth at running back. So if Derrick Henry goes down, they're done. It's dead. So Derrick Henry, obviously a superstar. Wide receiver, we talked about A.J. Brown a little bit earlier. He's their stud, and he's their obvious number one man. Corey Davis is going into his rookie year now, or not his rookie year, his final year of his contract. So he needs to put out whatever he's got right now. So chances are Corey Davis is going to be like on the ball, especially with the history of players being in their final year of their contract. They got Adam Humphries as well. He hasn't been performing up to how much they're paying him, so he needs to bring out a little bit more this season as well. So I'd almost say their wide receiver room behind A.J. Brown is kind of questionable, depending on what these players bring.
I agree with that, specifically for the reason that according to like some Titans fans, they actually completely and 100% believe that Corey Davis was a bust. 100%.
How he's performed, he needs to be better. Yeah. So I mean, it's his last season. You never know.
And he was drafted in like the first round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was
supposed to be the best receiver.
Yeah, exactly. And so he has not lived up to the potential that he was like.
But yeah, they're tight end. They lost Delaney Walker, so that's pretty big. I mean, he hasn't really played the last 2 seasons because of like injuries and stuff like that. But they got Jonnu Smith, and he has to be the man.
Oh, Jonnu Smith, I love
Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu Smith.
I have a lot of hope in Jonnu Smith.
Fast,
I know.
Bro.
He's really skilled.
Fast.
He can catch too. He's really good.
Bro, like I remember when they were playing the Texans, Whitney Merciless had an interception, right? Mm-hmm. And Whitney Merciless just rolling down the sideline, right? Nobody around
and then Jonnu Smith comes out of nowhere and tackles. I remember that game.
I'm like, dude, how fast is this motherfucker? Like, this guy was like, literally, he made up almost a 40-yard difference, dude.
Yeah.
Or 40 yards difference in like literally less than like 5 seconds. Like, that's crazy fast.
And he did really good in playoffs.
Look, everyone knows how much I hate the Titans, but I gotta give it to him. Jonnu Smith is probably one of the fastest tight ends in the NFL.
That's why I drafted Jonnu Smith as my tight end.
Dude,
he's my starting tight end over Darren Fells.
Freaking crazy fast, bro. I hate saying it, but like he is crazy fast.
He's basically a hybrid receiver.
Yeah, he's more like a wide receiver more than a tight end. He's not that great at blocking, But, dude, oh my God, receiving and tackling. Dude, this guy is a monster.
Tackling for a tight end.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying.
His Madden rating has a higher tackling than like fucking Vernon Hargreaves.
Like, literally. Dude made up 40 yards of difference faster than AJ Brown could catch up to freaking, Whitney Merciless. And Whitney Merciless is a linebacker. AJ Brown couldn't catch up to him, and Jonnu Smith got to him. Like, that's crazy fast, bro. I'm gonna say that. That's it.
I mean, Whitney Merciless must be fast too. That no one caught up to him. Like,
Whitney Merciless is actually an underrated linebacker as like speed.
I've never underrated him.
But like a lot of people speed wise, they don't really look at him as like one of those faster tight ends. But he actually linebackers. But he actually is one of those. But still, Jonnu Smith just.
Whitney Merciless.
He just outraged
Didn't
him,
Whitney
bro.
Merciless start off the season like got a hot streak or something?
Oh, yeah.
Crazy hot? Yeah.
Because he had J.J. Watt on the other side, so people would pay attention to J.J. Watt. But once J.J. Watt fell, he kind of disappeared.
He got caught up with everyone.
Yeah, because they just doubled him.
They started focusing on him.
Yeah, and other than J.J. Watt, Whitney Merciless, our pass rush was pretty much non-existent at that point. So
we're not talking about Texans anymore.
I didn't even bring this up, though.
Okay, but you continue it.
Continue.
All right, anyways. The Titans' offensive line, though. Taylor Lewan, obviously, great. I think that, look, these names I had never heard of, but they actually have a pretty decent offensive line. Roger Saffold and Nate Davis at guard. Saffold actually surprised me more because I never heard of him, but I'd almost take him over the Texans' two guards. So he's kind of like the reason why Derrick Henry's had a pretty good year, especially running on the inside. I'm telling you, look him up, dude. Roger Saffold is actually pretty good. They drafted Isaiah.
On the Rams Super Bowl team.
So I mean, you can shake your head all you want, dude. He's pretty good. They drafted Isaiah Wilson in the first round. He's not going to start at right tackle though. They're going to start Dennis Kelly, so that's actually a pretty good thing that they're doing. Dennis Kelly will be steady at right tackle, so that kind of rounds out their offensive line. Oh, they got who's their center? I forgot their center's name.
Ben Jones.
Ben Jones. He's a pretty decent center as well. But fun fact: Isaiah Wilson, their rookie tackle, recently almost jumped off a balcony trying to get away from cops after he was caught at a college party. And apparently, the college has this no visitor policy. So, fun fact: Isaiah Wilson, their rookie tackle. So I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah.
I mean.
All right, so this is the biggest weakness of the Titans, their pass rush. They had an issue last year. They're going to have an issue this year. Jeffrey Simmons is a decent young player. He has the potential to be really good, but obviously, he needs help around him, and he just doesn't really have that right now. They got Daquan Jones. He's a decent. Isaiah Mack is decent, but again, he needs to be better in order to be for the line to be decent, like overall. They brought in Jack Crawford from Atlanta, but obviously, he's more depth. So their defensive line leaves a lot to be desired. In terms of linebackers, though, Rashaan Evans and Jayon Brown. Jayon Brown especially.
I love Jayon Brown.
They're very underrated duo in the middle there. What's up?
My brother's calling me. I'm the answer.
All right, go ahead.
Hello? We're still shooting the podcast. We're almost done. We're about to leave in a little bit. All right. Okay.
All right. As far as pass rush goes, Harold Landry was pretty much their only
decent pass rush.
Yeah, I think he had 9 sacks or something.
Yeah.
Which is why they brought in Vic Beasley, but they're having issues with him. I don't know what's going on.
Isn't he showing up late and shit?
No, he didn't show up for the team.
No, he failed his physical, right?
He failed his physical, yeah. But he's still on the team, so obviously they got something going for him. They got Camila Correa. He's decent, but he hasn't been practicing either. So they got to get some kind of pass rush thing going. Maybe they could bring in, what's his face? Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah.
So
I mean, no, but apparently from what I've heard, that the Titans have made it pretty clear that they're not going to be bringing.
They're not.
Jadeveon
Okay.
Clowney.
Because Jadeveon Clowney's just being a bitch.
Yeah, he's asking for way too much money, dog.
Yeah. So
and I remember I told you if he actually wants to prove himself, the best place he can go right now is the Texans.
Yeah.
Because he knows the players there, he knows the defensive playbook, and so it's.
Anyways, all right. So their secondary is actually pretty decent. Malcolm Butler was out last year. He broke his wrist pretty early. So he's back. They got Adoree Jackson is entering his 4th season. He's decent. They signed Jonathan Joseph, but I think they're going to find out pretty quickly that he's not going to be a very good corner for them.
He's too slow. He's too old.
He's too old.
Too old.
Dude,
he's way too old.
Okay, let me just say this. Jonathan Joseph was a great cornerback. He was probably one of the best. Mind-wise, like, mentally, he's probably still one of the top cornerbacks. Because the fact that he was staying as the Texans' #1 cornerback, even though he was constantly getting burnt, is a fact
honestly,
that
they should try moving him to safety, if anything.
Well, I mean, they got
honestly
pretty good safeties,
that, or
too.
bring him as a coach, like low-key, like cornerbacks coach.
He needs to retire. He needs to.
I think his playing, I think his corners, you're only good for a few years.
Yeah, and then after, he needs to retire and become a coach, dude. I think he could be a really good cornerbacks coach.
He could be a really good safety too. They just don't need one.
Yeah, that's usually what they do.
Maybe
with
they should have
kept.
They should have kept Jonathan Joseph and should have let him play safety.
They should have done what they did with Charles Woodson once he got older, move him to safety.
Yeah.
But,
one major person that the Titans lost was Logan Ryan.
Oh,
that's right. Yeah,
he's still a free agent, also, right?
Yeah.
He
was about to sign with the Jets, but the Jets backed out or something.
Yeah,
but
apparently he's not as good as people say. But I've seen
he's a really good slot corner. That's what he's.
They did draft Christian Fulton in the 2nd round, so he'll be their number 3 guy, probably maybe in the slot. But their safeties are actually pretty good. Kenny Vaccaro is pretty decent, and Kevin Byard will be a pretty big piece.
Bro, how many teams has Kenny Vaccaro played for? He played for the Saints, then he went to the...
There was a time a couple of years ago where there were
probably less than Brandon Cooks.
Oh my god, Brandon Cooks. He plays... Dude, it's so weird. He's on a playoff team, then he gets traded the next season. See, it was the Saints, then the Patriots, then the Rams, now he's on the Texans. He's watching.
But, I mean, if you notice, when you were on
there's definitely
Saints,
something wrong with him.
Yeah, but every time he was, whatever team he was on, did go to the playoffs. So,
I think you'll figure out what's wrong with him by watching him this season.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna do great. He's gonna do fine. Don't worry, we'll be fine.
But anyways, yeah, that's all I got for the Titans. So, what do you think? What do you guys think?
Texans are winning the division.
Obviously, you think that.
I think Colts
hands down.
I think Colts are winning the division with a pretty good record.
It's going to be the Texans, the Titans, the Colts, and then the Jaguars.
I would say Colts, right. Titans, Texans, then the Jaguars.
I need you to stay quiet for this, Nikki, for just a little bit, okay? I'm sorry. You're going to hate this. But
I already know what you're going to say. So.
All right. So, no, you don't. You don't. I'm sorry.
I know what you're going to say.
But, okay, Titans going to win the division, right? All right?
No.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Titans going to win the division. You got the Colts right under them. All right? Right under them, you got the Jags. I know.
Okay, I know. Now you're just hating. You're just hating now. Now you're just hating.
I'm sorry.
You're just starting to hate.
No, it makes sense though.
No,
if you're going off of scheme, hold up.
If you were actually thinking the Jaguars have a better chance at winning than the Texans, you are honestly
Nakib, listen. Nakib, shut up and listen. If Texans are all about scheme, right? If their scheme does work out, they're a playoff team. If their scheme fails, they are complete trash because it's a scheme-based team.
Either way, but they'll still be better than the Jaguars.
I mean, I can see.
They're definitely going to be better than the Jaguars.
Look,
okay, you know what? It's your opinion, all right? So whatever your opinion is, that's fine. But I'm just telling you, you are being absolutely dumb by saying that.
Let me tell you how unbiased I'm being right now, okay? I hate the Jaguars with a passion.
No,
really. Last year, I went to that game, the Raiders-Jaguars game, last game in Oakland, right?
Oh.
So we should have won that game, but the refs made a stupid call. Derek Carr slid inbounds to keep the clock going, and he got the first down, right? The refs called it out. Actually, no. He didn't get the first down, but he slid inbounds. The clock should have kept going. That would have let us win the game. Instead, the refs called him out of bounds and stopped the clock, and we had to give them the ball back. So that is the reason we lost that game, straight up.
So,
and then after, no, hold on. I'm not done. I'm not even done yet. After the game, these fucking Jaguars players, right? Especially Gardner Minshew said something about, oh, man, it was great to come in here and beat them in their last game in Oakland. You didn't win shit, motherfucker. You did not win shit. You should not have won that fucking game. I traveled all the way to Oakland, okay, to watch that game and enjoy their last game in the Coliseum. And the Jags and the fucking refs took that away. And the Jags players should have shut the fuck up, took their win, and go home instead of saying shit for the fucking media. Okay? Straight up. So let me tell you, it does not feel good for me to say that I think the Jags are going to go over the Texans.
They're not, though.
And I hope they don't. I hope the Jags just live in misery for the rest of their lives. I hate them. And this is the first time you guys know about this, but I've kept this pent up inside of me for a while now.
He seems pretty mad. I'm scared right now.
I absolutely hate them.
No.
So,
but even
it's
if
boomer. Look, the Texans are boomer bust in my mind.
the only way I can see the Jaguars beating the Texans, right, is if Will Fuller goes down, Brandon Cook goes down, Kenny Stills goes down, and basically Deshaun Watson just has a down year.
Right.
That's the only
and honestly,
way.
if those injuries happens, he's gonna have a down year.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think we're done with.
Definitely Texans are winning the division.
All right,
mark my words.
Glad we got that out there. But yeah, all right. So this is actually the end of the podcast.
The season.
Oh, this is the end of the season.
We got how many days till the week one?
We have less than 3 weeks.
3 weeks. All right. So I am excited. I am so excited.
September
Time
10th.
cannot go by fast enough, guys. I am so hyped. Yeah. So what we're going to do, each segment that we've had for this podcast is going to be a separate one. And AFC actually went actually really long. So, yeah, Jesus.
It's
Okay.
because we kept on talking about the fucking Texans.
Yeah. Anyways.
I mean,
That's okay. But anyways,
Zane talked about
follow
Texas
us on
night.
YouTube. Number 3, idiots with an E. And then follow us on Instagram. It's 3_idiots_podcast, and that's 3 written out, and idiots with an E, obviously. And yeah, so you guys want to say anything else? No. But yeah, so we'll see you guys next week.
good night. This podcast was sponsored by Elevated Communications LLC, a company that manages Verizon wireless stores. Right now, go see them at 13513 University Boulevard, Sugar Land, Texas 77479 for great service that has you covered. Go right now and tell them 3 Idiots Podcast sent you, and you will get 10% off accessories.